This is Excel 5.5 homework. So this is our finished copy, and you'll see the different tabs and some other things we'll be working with. So we've already done step 1, which is save it as SC5 Dynamite Customer Sales. I'm in the sales worksheet. So now it says to go to I4 and do a VLOOKUP. So VLOOKUP is going to be a little bit different than what we've seen. So I'm going to start by typing VLOOKUP. Here we go. And because this is our first time working with it, I'm going to open up this f of x, and it's going to walk through each of the steps. So it says find the product price for E4 in the table and then return I4 in the VLOOKUP. So for the VLOOKUP, I'm typing E4, and we want to look in that product table. The ID product table is over here, and we're going to select all of those, and then I'm going to press the comma, and it kind of got weird, didn't it? Okay, so after the comma, we're going to press the number 4 because that's what we're looking up, and we are going to say false. So let me open that tab up again so it looks normal. So I went to the product table sheet, selected all the information there, and we actually only need to go to D13. And the column number we're looking up is 4. So it says this is the column number in the table array, which matches. So that's going to be the 4th column here, so that D column. And then it's going to tell us an answer, right? So I'm press enter, and then I'm going to copy that all the way down this column. And you're probably wondering, what just happened? Because, right, we have some errors. So the problem was we need to do the absolute references. So I need to put some $ around these letters, and now drag it down. We need the absolute references, so we keep referring to that one static table instead of different numbers all around. So now I'm going to move to J4, and we're going to do another VLOOKUP. So equals VLOOKUP, and I'm going to open up that table, that pop-up again. This time it says we're going to look for the product again, E4. And we're going to look up the product table, but we're going to select all of this. Remember to put the $ around it. And then after that, this time we're going to look in column 3 instead of 4. And again, we're going to do the false. And so you'll notice this is column 3 versus 4. So we're looking up SUPA 101 in this product table. So SUPA 101, here it is. And 0.3 for the cost, 0.5 for the price. So here's 0.5 for the price, 0.3 for the cost. So that's all we're doing with the VLOOKUP. We're looking up some specific information between tables based on specific information. So let me drag this down and copy it. And I'm just going to double click on the formulas again. So this was the VLOOKUP formula for I4. And then here was the VLOOKUP formula for J4. Remember to use this pop-out formula insert function pop-out, so that way you can get more help. There's also this button for help. Now this is the most complex we'll get in this class. Let's go to K4. And for this one, we're going to do the product price minus the product cost. And we're going to copy that all the way down. So now it says format I, J, and K as currency with 2 decimals. So now we're going to click in cell A3. And we're going to insert a table. So I'm going to go from A3 to, it says K for 52, and start making a table. So I'm going to go to Insert, Table. Check the numbers. Yep, A3, 52, headers. There you go. Now make a copy of this. So I'm going to right click, make a copy. So I'm going to click Create Copy. And we're told to name this Online Sales by Date. And it says place it to the right of the sales sheet. And we're going to filter out retail sales. So here in the sales type, we see online versus retail. So I'm going to filter out the retail and just do online. And then it says to sort the sheet alphabetically by country and then by name. So here's the country and then the name. Now it says to make another copy of the sales sheet. So copy. This time we're going to name it June Sales by Country. And we're going to place this on the right of the online sales sheet. And we're going to filter for just June. So let's look for the months. Here we go. And we don't want July or August, we just want June selected. I can press this plus if I'm looking for a specific date in June, but we just want the month of June. And then it's going to hide everything that's not June. It tells us to sort alphabetically by country, A to Z, and then by name. Now we're going to make a copy of sales one more time, actually probably, but let's do one more time. And create copy. We're going to rename it Sales by Product. We're going to push this over to the right of the June sales. And for this one, we're going to insert a slicer. So let's go to Insert, then Slicer. So for the slicer, we want to do this for product sold. So product sold. So it tells me to insert this over here by M1. And we're also supposed to hide the region column. So I forgot to do that step. Let me hide the region. And that's going to allow me to keep it a little bit bigger. There we go. So we wanted an M1. Okay. So we're going to resize the height of this slicer. So come on the slicer height. We want it just to be 2.09. So it kind of shrinks it. We're going to have the scroll bar. And we're going to select data DETA 100. I'm going to hold down the control button and select 200 as well. And then we're going to filter this by product sold. Sort it by product sold. And then we're going to do a total row. So I'm going to click in the table, come to table design and say total row. And we want a total row for the average of the product price. So here's product price. So average. Product cost. We're going to select average. Product, let's see, profit columns. And it said average. Okay. So change the heading in A53 to average. There we go. So now it knows that these are averages, not totals. Alright, make a copy of the sales sheet. So right click on the sales sheet, make copy. Double click, we're going to rename this subtotals by date. It says place this to the right of the sales by product. And we're going to do, we want to arrange these from oldest to newest. And then we're going to do some subtotaling. But remember, we can't go to data subtotal until we change this back to a range. So I'm going to go table, convert to range. And now I can come to outline subtotal. And we want to do this, let's see, it says by date. And then we're doing the profit column. So you can see each date, how much was earned. It says click the number 2. And so now we just have the date totals. So it kind of gets rid of the other information. We also have the grand total at the bottom. So now we're going to do one final sales copy. So copy one last time. we're going to rename this subtotals by type, drag it to the right of the subtotals by date, and first we want to order this by type, and then we're going to convert it back to a range, and then we can come to outline subtotals. So we're going to do it by, this time we're going to do totals and averages, and we're going to uncheck the replace current because we want to add a separate one, so you can see online average, all of that. So we need to unclick some of these to just have our online averages and totals visible. We're going to add a footer, so margins footer, and then you're going to check. We have the worksheet name in the center, and then we're going to make sure everything's on one page. Let's make it centered, and then we will probably also want to do the landscape, so we can do a print preview of this. Alright, we want to look at the entire workbook. And, oh. Now notice how some of these are missing some print titles, so then we would want to fix those. So let's get out of this one. I'm going to go ahead and click all of them, select all tabs, make all of these landscape just for consistency. And then the longer ones, we're going to want to do the print titles, and we want the top 3 to repeat. So I'm going to go through these and do the repeating rows.